today's video we'll be looking at the Dragon Vision 4 Lite action camera. So let's get straight into it. Firstly, we see it comes in very plain packaging, and we can see that the camera has Wi-Fi capabilities, a 20 megapixel camera, is waterproof to 98 feet, has 4K resolution, and also has a slow motion setting. So let's take a look in the box. First thing to come out is a plastic tray with the camera in its waterproof housing, and the remote control which allows you to start and stop video, as well as take photos remotely. Under that is another box in which we find a varying range of connectors. This camera has GoPro standard connectors, meaning that you're able to use most action camera mounts that are currently available on the market. The range of connectors isn't as big as with some action camera kits, but there's enough in there to meet most needs. I've purchased the chest mount, which allows the camera to be used hands-free, an adapter to use the action cam with a gimbal. You can also find a camera bracket for holding the camera when it's not in its waterproof housing, and a spare back cover for the waterproof housing that has slots for fitting straps. But be warned, using the back plate makes the action camera showerproof but not waterproof. Also in the box you'll find two batteries. They are modelled PG1050 batteries and rated at 1050 mAh, and should give up to about 2 hours of use. Also in the box is a USB charging cable, Velcro strips, adhesive pads, a small safety tether, a cleaning cloth and zip ties, and finally a wrist strap that can be fitted to the remote control. If you put aside the accessories, as they are mostly self-explanatory and common to most action cameras, we can take a closer look at the camera itself. To remove the camera from the waterproof housing, simply lift the front of the black tab on the top of the housing and move backwards to release the rear panel. The camera then simply slides out. Looking at the front of the camera, you can see the lens, and next to that is the power button. Then on the right hand side you have a micro USB socket and a micro HDMI out, and a socket for an external microphone. I have a lavalier microphone here that is made especially for this camera, and simply plugs into the camera like so. To the rear of the camera you can see the 2-inch screen, and the top is the shutter button, and an LED light that indicates whether the camera is on and operating. This is handy when the camera is chest mounted and you're only able to see the screen. And finally, on the other side is the scroll buttons. On the bottom is a battery compartment, and this can be a bit difficult to remove, but with a bit of perseverance it will come off. Be careful, as it's not attached to the camera body and can quite easily be lost if changing the batteries outside. Looking at the bottom of the battery, you'll see a small tab to help in extracting the battery from the camera, and if you place the battery in with the tab pointing towards the centre of the camera, like so, it will be in its correct orientation, and should slip into place with a little bit of pressure. You can then replace the cover. The batteries can only be recharged in the camera using the USB cable like so, and a small red light will show it's charging. To turn the camera on, press the power button on the front. There's no need to hold it when you're turning it on, but you need to press and hold it when turning the camera off. When turned on, the top LED will show solid blue, and the screen on the back will show a live preview picture. You can now use the power button to shift through the various modes, By default, the camera starts up in video mode. Pressing the power button quickly puts it into photo mode. Pressing it again allows you to review any video files on the SD card, and one more press puts it into photo review. And pressing it one more time brings you to the main system menus. The first page in the main menus is the video settings page. Here you can change various settings to the video, including the resolution and turning on the EIS stabilization function. To use the menu, press the shutter button on the top of the camera to select your option, and use the two buttons on the sides to scroll through the available choices. The video is available in 4K in both stabilized and unstabilized, 2.7K, 1080p and 720p at 120 frames per second, which allows you to film slow motion. Use the power button to move to photo options again, and you can manipulate the photo settings in the same way. The next page is the general settings, where you can adjust many of the main functions, such as exposure and white balance. The next page is the settings of the camera. That includes date and time, as well as language settings. Pressing the power button again and then the shutter button exits you out of the menus. One of the other key features of this camera is its Wi-Fi capabilities. To open these up in the video mode, press the top scroll button on the side of the camera and the Wi-Fi settings will appear on the screen. To connect to your phone, you will need to download the Live DV app from the App Store, then connect your camera to your phone's Wi-Fi and start the application. Connect to the camera on your phone and a preview of the camera should appear on the screen. You can use the app to change the general settings of the camera, review files and take photos and videos, but note when using the phone, the preview screen on the camera will turn off automatically. So all that's left is to show you the quality of the videos that you can capture with this camera, so sit back and take in the various modes this camera offers. As you can see, the quality for a camera in this price range is really quite good, apart from low light, where the video does get a bit grainy, and the fact that you can't turn off the date timestamp are the only real drawbacks with this camera. Otherwise, for just £34, this is a brilliant little camera that should cope well under most rigorous conditions. It gets 4 out of 5 in my overall rating due to the timestamp on all the videos, but the fact that it comes with 2 batteries is a real plus. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will agree that if you're after a good budget action camera, then this is a real contender. I purchased a so-called 4K action cam from wish.com for roughly the same price, but found that it wasn't in fact real 4K, and struggled to give even half decent 1080p. So you need to be careful when shopping for a budget action cam, as there are many knockoff models out there. The Dragon Touch Vision 4 Lite is not one of them, and offers real value for money. So join me in the next video, and please like and subscribe. Happy Christmas, and have a very good New Year, and I'll see you all in 2020.